Hi, it's Sally here to help you decide whether you should use a rolly suitcase, a backpack, or a duffel bag on your next trip. So I don't think there's a one size fits all. I think it really depends what kind of trip you're doing and where you're going. So let's start with a rolly suitcase. First, I just want to point out that this is a fabric one and it is top loading. Most fabric ones are top loading. Most hard ones, plastic or metal, are clamshell style where the zipper's in the middle. Those are maybe great for business trips or when you just need to keep a lot of clothes organized. But I just find this is more versatile. You can put larger objects in it. It's easier to load and unload, and it's easier to open in a small space because you only need half as much space to open this suitcase. Now, if you're like me, you maybe initially hated these because they are a little bit annoying to be around, but then I got one and I realized they're amazing. They really make my life so much easier for certain types of trips. I used to carry everything around on my back, but I am sold on the rolly suitcase for certain purposes. And they do work really well in airports and on good sidewalks, and even on cobblestones, they're pretty good. A rolly suitcase can maximize your carry-on allowance, and they are easy to access your things. You just open it up, all your stuff is there. They're stiff enough to protect your stuff when you have to check your bag or if it's just being thrown under the bus with a bunch of other things. And finally, a lot of hostel lockers are designed to fit a carry-on size rolling suitcase. So what are the cons of a rolling suitcase? Well, like I mentioned, sometimes they're a bit annoying to other people, so you need to be aware of where it is behind you. Another con is that you are occasionally going to have to lift it up to carry it up or down stairs or on rough surfaces, and they can be a bit awkward to carry. They're especially awkward in places where you're going to be riding a tram or buses that have stairs and narrow aisles. If you are using a subway where a station does not have an elevator or an escalator or those things are out of service, you're going to possibly have to walk up or down a lot of stairs. In some older cities, you might have to walk up and down a lot of stairs to get to your accommodation. And if you're traveling somewhere with less developed infrastructure, or you're going to be in rural areas where there's less pavement, fewer sidewalks, then trundling a rolling suitcase down a dirt or gravel road might not work. So a rolling suitcase can be brought on a scooter taxi if the driver is okay with putting it between their knees, but you might not be comfortable doing that yourself if you are the one driving the scooter. They're not great for snowy places. You're going to end up dragging a lot of snow or slush behind you along with your suitcase. Or for places where there's large puddles, because you might find yourself having to drag it through puddles or snow, the things inside might get wet. So what are the best use cases for a rolling suitcase? Trips where you are mainly sightseeing in major cities or in other areas where there is modern infrastructure. So good sidewalks, elevators or escalators, public transportation that is easy to roll on and off. Another good use case is if you're taking a tour where there's going to be a tour bus parked in front of the hotel and all you need to do is get your suitcase from your hotel room onto the bus. Also ideal for a trip where you're not going to be moving accommodation a lot, like visiting family. Another use case is trips where you need to transport some things that are heavy, bulky, awkwardly shaped, delicate. A rolling suitcase is probably the most dependable way to do that. And finally, if you want to check a bag, I do suggest you use a hard bag that's not going to get squashed or ripped, and that is a rolling suitcase. Next, the backpack. So first I want to note that this is a backpack intended for hiking. It's not so much designed specifically for travel. A feature that I really recommend is this mesh panel in the back that lets your back breathe, especially if you're going somewhere hot. You may think a backpack's a great idea for your backpacking trip to Southeast Asia, but if it doesn't have a mesh panel on it, you are going to be drenched in sweat every time you are wearing it. So I'd stick with a backpack that's really meant for traveling on foot as opposed to one of those specialized travel backpacks. But the downside of this backpack is it's hard to access things inside. What are the pros of using a backpack? You're very nimble. You don't have to worry about the surfaces. It could be dirt, could be stairs, whatever. They're really good for traveling on scooters, either as a passenger on a scooter cab or if you're driving the scooter yourself. A reasonable size backpack is easy to bring on public transportation of any type, including buses or trams with stairs. What are the cons? A backpack's not going to maximize your carry-on space. Another downside is that it's really hard to access things inside your backpack without taking everything out. So especially if you're moving from place to place every couple of days, it's going to feel a bit tedious having to explode your backpack every time you get to a new place. It's especially tedious if you're staying in cramped hostel rooms where you just have a bit of limited space to do that, but I've done it many times. I lay things out on the bed and it's doable. If you're forced to check your backpack, then there's a risk that it will get damaged. Another downside is that when you're on busy public transportation, you need to be really aware of who's behind you, because you don't want to turn and take out the person next to you. And good etiquette means that you take it off and put it at your feet, or you put it on your front if you're worried about somebody grabbing it. And don't overlook the fact that you might be standing on public transportation for long periods of time carrying your backpack. And finally, of course, if you have to move something really heavy, a backpack is not your best option. So what's the best use case? Going somewhere where you hope to travel by scooter a lot. If you're going somewhere with less developed infrastructure or a lot of snow. And of course, a backpack is absolutely necessary if you want to incorporate some long distance walking into your trip, which is something I highly recommend you do. If you are a minimalist traveler and you can manage with a bag that's no more than about 35 liters, then a backpack is great for any kind of trip because you're just going to be really nimble without having to deal with really sore neck and shoulders. And I am going to make a video about how I travel for months at a time with a bag that's no bigger than 35 liters. So subscribe if you want to see that at some point. Finally, the humble duffel bag. So my duffel bag is water resistant, which is an awesome feature. It also has these clips that turn it into a backpack. But generally speaking, I find you can kind of turn any duffel bag into a backpack if you try hard enough. And that's actually a really big advantage of a duffel bag. So what are the advantages? Like a rolling suitcase, it's really easy to pack and to access things within a duffel bag. Duffel bags are pretty good for traveling on public transit, including ones that have stairs and small aisles because you can carry it in front of you. You can easily fit awkward things like bike helmets and sleeping bags inside of a duffel bag. What are the cons? Well, a duffel bag might not fit into a carry-on baggage sizer the way that a suitcase will. If you have to check your duffel bag, it might get squished, it might get ripped. Duffel bags are obviously pretty awkward to carry, although having that backpack feature does make it more feasible. What are the best use cases for a duffel bag? I love using them on road trips because I'm either sleeping in a tent or in the back of my car, and I can squeeze my duffel bag beside me and easily access anything I need, even within that confined space. Weekend trips to a friend's place where you're not moving your bag very far on your own. Any trip where you need to bring really awkwardly sized or shaped things. Walking trips where you're paying for baggage transfer. And finally, any kind of more adventurous tour where you're not needing to move your bag really far distances by yourself, but you may be dealing with dust, snow, rain, and sleeping in tents or hostels. So before I go, I just want to note that no matter what you choose, you should get a comfortable small backpack or tote bag that can be your personal item on the airplane, and where you can keep all of your most essential items that you want to have on you, whether you're on public transit or on the plane. It's going to let you keep a close eye on your valuables, and it's what you can use when you're out sightseeing day to day. That's all I have to say. I hope that was useful. Subscribe if you want to see more adventure, travel, hike, and bike content. Thanks for watching.